outrage to this one. The reaction is pouring in after President Biden announced a sweeping pardon for his son Hunter. Our next guest writes this. We always knew Joe would pardon troubled son Hunter, fitting the president would break another promise to the American people. Miranda Devine is here, and I think that's right. Like, who believed them when they said over and over again that no one was above the law and he would accept what the people said? That's not the case of what happened. Miranda, before I get your take, I just want to show people some of the liberal media reaction to the pardon.
It does raise the question as to whether this is about the court of law or whether this is somewhat political theater. This has opened the door to these types of political pardons in such a way that it will be hard for Democrats and others to critique anything that Donald Trump does on this scale.
The reality here is, if this was anyone other than Joe Biden's son, no one would object to a pardon.
What say you, Miranda?
Well, I mean, I think that the most surprising thing about all of this is that anyone is surprised that Joe Biden lied. He made sure to continue that lie that he would not pardon his son right through the election. And then, you know, even after the election, he had Karine Jean-Pierre speak at the White House podium and perpetuate that lie, knowing full well that he always intended to pardon Hunter. I think what is just impossible for Democrats to defend is that this is not just about a father looking after his son and wanting him not to go to jail when this sentencing was supposed to happen in a couple of weeks. This is Joe Biden going retrospectively, going back 11 years to ensure that he himself is not ensnared in any investigation into his family's influence peddling around the world, earning millions of dollars when he was vice president. This is Joe Biden protecting himself.
And maybe his brother, Miranda.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm sure that that will be the next pardon. And why wouldn't Joe Biden just go willy-nilly and pardon everyone in his family, anyone he can think of, because he's already... you know, he'll take whatever political hit he needs to for this 11-year pardon for Hunter for any crime that he might have committed, and that includes, of course, the Ukraine grift back in 2014.
So sorry, Dana, your theory then is that he's got to put an umbrella of protection around specific family members, maybe more than two, in order to prevent Congress from going after what they believe was wrongdoing, as they have chased for 4 years.
Yes, obviously Hunter is the most involved in all the China and Ukraine and Romania, etc. But Jim Biden, Joe Biden's younger brother, Hunter's uncle, was also involved in some of the China deals with Hunter. And then there are other family members who received money. And I think James Comer in the Oversight Committee did a pretty good job of following the money trail and seeing where it led from those sort of shady oligarchs and Chinese CCP members through to various cutouts and then eventually to the bank accounts of several Biden family members, including Joe Biden himself, although we were told that was a loan repayment from Jim Biden to Joe Biden on those two checks.
Right, and as you said, you know, a lot of family members got money, including some grandchildren in that, and I'm pretty sure they didn't do any of the work. But you have to wonder about Joe Biden allowing Hunter to do this for so long in the first place. I mean, President Obama and his team were concerned about it enough to raise it, but it continued. Let me ask you this, Miranda, do you anticipate or know or have a feeling about whether the incoming Trump administration would continue these investigations?
Look, I think it's very hard for them to pursue them, I mean, given the pardon and the upcoming probably other pardons. And I think also that really, although the corruption is egregious and ongoing, and it was a sellout of the country during Joe's vice presidency and probably compromised him during his presidency, I think the bigger crime and the worst story was of the cover-up. And this was, you know, whether it be the Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the Department of State, the IRS, they all covered up for Hunter Biden and Joe Biden over many years. And I just wrote about that in my latest book. I mean, we even had the point where Gina Haspel, the CIA director under Trump, gave the green light to that, what I call the Dirty 51 letter, written by the 51 former intelligence officials, falsely claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. That was a CIA domestic election interference operation. You had the same from the FBI, coercing Twitter and Facebook to censor the New York Post's first stories about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah. Miranda, thank you. More to come on this, certainly. Miranda Devine, New York Post, thanks for coming on.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.